All right. This is the most common C4. All right. This fit your 289s and 302s and all that. This one here, if you look and you see the bell housing here, how bigger it is than this is here. All right. This was made for the heavy duty application. You could only get that in trucks and vans. Still a C4, but they reinforced they made the case heavier duty in this area here. And but also you could put this behind a 351, a bigger engine. The other C4 you could, but it wasn't as heavy duty as this. So that's the difference.
What is this at the end?
That's a Hemingway.
Hold on. Go ahead.
All right. That's the transfer case, the four-wheel drive transfer case. That comes off of here. This is specifically made for the Bronco, and you only got it with the Bronco. And so this part here has the C4 stuff inside of it like a regular C4 in a car. But they made this special extension housing with the transfer case on it just for the C4. The other thing too that is important, the filler tube and dipstick come down here and go into the pan. On the regular C4, it goes into the case here. And that's the real way you can tell when you got the heavy duty ones, is that. You just look under the car and see that it goes into the pan. But they had to do that to make room. So.
Now that we've got both of these transmissions cleaned up, can you tell me what they are?
All right, these are both C4 transmissions. This is the most common one that they put in virtually all the cars, behind the smaller engines, the 289s, 302s. This one here is a heavier duty one, and they beefed up the case here for more stress because these can take a lot of torsional stress. They also have these are called servos. These are what apply the bands, right? If you look at this one here, that's for a 6-cylinder engine. Same transmission. That's for the V8, right? When we got this Falcon in, the Falcon had a 289 in it, has a 289 in it. And they swapped the transmissions out at one time, this guy over here, and he's wondering why it doesn't work right. The reason is because this is a 6-cylinder.
What makes it a 6-cylinder?
The 6-cylinder is because first, the servos that apply the second gear band, right? This is the thickness of the second gear band. This is a V8 band. This is the one that they eventually went on to, right? These are clutch cylinders. This is for all your forward gears. This is for high gear and reverse. This only takes 4 clutches. This only takes 3. It's not enough for a V8. A V8 has to have 4 in here and 5 in here. So you don't have enough surface contact area between the engine and the weight of the car. So that's another problem. The other problem is that these transmissions have probably been rebuilt several times. And they're not doing they mean well, but they're not educated and they don't know all the different changes from year to year. 65 and 66 were made one year. 67 to 69 were different. 70 to 76, there's differences, a lot of differences. And so if you don't know those interchanges and you don't know what's supposed to be going on, you're going to keep making mistakes over and over and over again. And we see this all the time with the Ford products. It's really difficult to tell because you really got to get inside of it though. That's the only way you're really going to tell if you have the wrong stuff. One of the things you can tell is this here. On the valve of these transmissions, you have a thing called a modulator. All right. And a modern day car speed set or the throttle position sensor, the transmission has to know what you're doing with the gas pedal. The harder you push down on the gas, the more active this gets, and it's telling the transmission to raise its pressure. They discontinued this screw-in type modulator up until '69. After that, they went into a push-in modulator. It gets pushed in, and then there's a clip that holds it in the back. And so this is the later style. So you'll know if it like this Bronco we have is a '69, right? The '69 should have this modulator, but it has this one here. So we know that this modulator and this transmission in the Bronco is from 73 to 76. That we know. Also, the color of the stripe on the modulator will also tell you the difference. There's a green stripe there. All right. The other thing is valve bodies. Valve bodies are the brain of this transmission. This is called the governor. This tells the transmission how fast the drive shaft is turning. It's got weights in there with valves. It trips one way, that's your 1 to 2 shift. It trips the other way, that's your 2 to 3 shift. These are 3-speed transmissions, right? In today's cars, that would be called the vehicle speed sensor. Back then, of course, these are mechanical. Also, too, these valve bodies they change a lot. They're calibrated to each size of car and also engine size. Whenever you rebuild one of these transmissions, you got to find out what year you're working with, and then you should always put one of these guys in there. This is called a shift kit. That's the slang term for it. What it is, it's a systems correction kit. What it does is it gets rid of these tired springs and freshens it up with new springs. And all these mechanical transmissions all use these springs everywhere, and they do get tired and they do wear out, and the transmission never works right. And so if you do that, you'll be safe. The other thing, a really big update, is this stuff here. This is the parking gear. A little pawl comes in when you put it into park, and it grabs this, and that holds the weight of the car. Well, if you look at this one here with all these elements, and you look at this one here that has less elements, right? They saw this was a problem right away. They got rid of that right away. And they went to this, which holds a lot more weight. And that's the one they used up until they discontinued the C4. That's one thing. This is still, we already know this transmission's been rebuilt. This should have already been changed. Because if this breaks off, and they did break off, right? You lost this trans. It'll just obliterate it. One thing I found building this, the Falcon, was I'm putting it together, and when I put this, if you look at the teeth here, when I put this on, this is supposed to spline with the teeth there. Well, when I put it in, it was up here like this. It wasn't going all the way down. It was way up here. I'm figuring, what the hell's going on here? So I'm checking all the parts, and I get the shell off of the Bronco, because they used the same thing all through the years. And I found that at one time, somebody put this in a press and used it to press something, and they bent this. It didn't get bent in the transmission. Somebody bent that. And so I found out what that was, and I had to replace that. So you got to watch for mistakes that other guys make. You're not only rebuilding the transmission just to replace the parts and get back in, you have to look for mistakes. And we see that all the time. So